Our message for today is titled Gratitude/Thanksgiving. Gratitude/Thanksgiving. Now, we know that everything in life that we experience is something to be grateful for. Now, this is a harsh statement for some people, and it may seem almost obscene or at least insensitive to those who are experiencing health issues or financial problems or turmoil in their personal relationships. Yet, it is still the truth, and it is the truth that can bring about change in our life experiences if we are willing to choose gratitude over its opposite. Genuine gratitude always calls us to give. What we give, we must give from a sense of having received something. This giving is the natural result of believing that we have, even if the having of it has not materialized completely. Now, for many people, myself included, and when we keep our mind stayed on God, stayed on the good, there comes times when we just have this feeling that everything is wonderful, that good things are happening, that we have things to look forward to, and that enthusiasm, that feeling of knowing that God is always with us, that God is always providing for us, that God has got something greater for us than what we can even imagine for ourselves as yet. That feeling comes from that inspiration from within, but it also comes from that inspiration from on high, that great invisible intelligence, power, and spirit that we call God. Let's look at these words from Psalms 28:7. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him, and I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoices, and with my song will I praise him. Think about these words. My heart trusted in him, and I am helped. When it says my heart trusted in him, it means I got into the feeling of trust, the feeling of being in God's presence, the feeling of knowing that I can count on those words where we read in the book of Jeremiah, I have loved you with an everlasting love. I have loved you, which means I am here to be your strength and your shield, to be your protection, to be your health, to be your happiness, to be your prosperity, to be your success, and be your loving companionship. All things are of God. Everything we see is God made manifest. So in this exaltation of faith, we can see that the psalmist is giving a song of praise. This impulse arises from the heart of the soul. It is filled with a sense of trust and conviction that cannot be denied. This is a power of God within mankind. It is an assurance, a knowing, and a truth demonstrated. To give a song of praise may be all that we have to give at any given time. But it is a giving and it is a necessity to seal that bond of trust between ourselves and our Creator. Those who ignore or dismiss the impulse to give lose their sense of gratitude quickly. They lose their sense of gratitude quickly, and they lose their sense of security and protection. They start fearing loss. They start feeling lack and limitation. They start worrying that they're going to lose the good that they have. Just as the Mastermind Jesus stated, for to everyone who has, more shall be given, and he will have an abundance. But from the one who does not have, that's from the one who does not rejoice and give thanks, even what he does have shall be taken away. Gratitude must result in giving, for it is our true nature to give when we have received. And why do I say it's our true nature to give when we have received? Because our true nature is of God. And God is the givingness, the livingness, the forgivingness, and all things. That God has given us this gift of life. And if we have nothing else to be grateful for, let's be grateful that we're alive. And as long as we're alive, as long as we are able to think intelligently, as long as we're able to feel the power of faith within us, as long as we're able to be in tune with the Spirit, the enthusiasm, the joy of life, wonderful things can happen in our lives. Wonderful and beautiful things will happen. Let's look at what the American author, educator, and clergyman, Henry Van Dyke, tells us about gratitude. He says, gratitude is the inward feeling of kindness received. Thankfulness is the natural impulse to express that feeling. Thanksgiving is the following of that impulse. So Thanksgiving means we must do something. The word Thanksgiving is listed as a noun in the traditional dictionaries, but in reality it is a verb. Thanksgiving without an act of expression is meaningless. As we realize more and more that everything begins and ends in mind or spirit, the unseen, then this truth brings forth a greater awareness. Thanksgiving, that means to give thanks, the giving of thanks, the giving of gratitude, the feeling, letting it enter into our mind, our heart, and our soul to the point that we begin to feel that impulse to rejoice and to feel that greater connection, that greater closeness, that greater presence of God. And that's why I say this teaching is spiritual, not religious, because spirituality is natural goodness. It's not focused on our mistakes or our sins. You know, sin is self-inflicted nonsense. It's not focused on the past. It's focused on the good that's available. It's focused on the truth that God is a presence personified in the world and within each and every one of us, as the nature of God is part of us, incarnated in us. Spirituality is not a thing. It is the atmosphere of God's presence, God's goodness, God's truth, and God's beauty as it moves through our mind, our heart, and our soul. And soul is just another word for consciousness. So let's look at those words from Henry Van Dyke again. Gratitude is the inward feeling of kindness received. Thankfulness is the natural impulse to express that feeling. Thanksgiving is the following of that impulse. So we allow ourselves to feel that impulse within us, to give thanks, to rejoice, to be grateful. Say, I am thankful. I am thankful for this life. I am thankful for knowing and believing and trusting that there is a presence of power, intelligence that's greater than I am, that's always seeking to guide me, direct me, lead me to a greater good for myself and for all those around me, to bring forth through me as an instrument of its expression a greater joy, a greater peace, a greater health, a greater happiness, a greater wholeness. And that wholeness creates a holiness of my connection with God and my faith in God and my trust in God, my worship of God. Worship means to recognize, identify, give attention to. That's why Jesus said the Father is Spirit. Father. He used the word Father because he knew the Jewish people were the people that were following him at that time and he was speaking to at that time. They understood the word Father as a dynamic presence, that Father was the leader, that Father was the guide, teacher, the protector. So the Father is Spirit, and we must worship him, worship the Father, worship intelligence, worship the power, worship the Spirit of life, in spirit and in truth. And of course, we must get into the spirit of life, get into the spirit of being enthusiastic about this thing called life, enthusiastic about healing our health issues, enthusiastic about healing our financial issues, enthusiastic about healing whatever it is that requires healing in our life, and know that with God, just as we open this program with every day, with God all good things are possible. Is possible. All good things are possible with God. Now there is a theory that follows this assumption, that is that our external physical reality is a mathematical structure, because God is a God of law and order. Just look at gravity. You ever have a moment when gravity doesn't work for you? Of course, that always works. It works for everyone. It's universal. It's a universal law that works for everyone everywhere. Just as 2 times 2 equals 4, and this simple mathematical calculation expresses the domino effect throughout the universe in which we live. The cosmologist Max Tegmark's hypothesis is considered a form Platonism, the philosophy of Plato. I don't know how they came up with that word, Platonism. Plato is his name. It is a philosophy that affirms the existence of abstract objects, which are asserted to exist in a third realm, in other words, in the great invisible, distinct both from the sensible external world and from the internal world of consciousness. That's why we can find things coming into our mind that we never ever thought of. We can find things coming into our mind through dreams, through our imagination, through whatever, that we think, why did this come to me? Where did I experience this? How did I become aware of this? Because there's always something going on in the great unseen. Now, many Platonic notions were adopted by the Christian church, which understood Plato's forms as God's thoughts moving into our awareness, while Neoplatonism became a major influence on Christian mysticism. It is a theory that forms the basis of the law of attraction and the mastermind Jesus' statement, as you sow, so shall you reap. Now, both of these laws are realized as compensation, which the great Emerson stated so clearly. He said, life invests itself with inevitable conditions which the unwise seek to dodge. Which one and another brags that he does not know, that they do not touch him, but the brag is on his lips, the conditions are in his soul. If he escapes them in one part, they attack him in another more vital part. If he has escaped them in form and in the appearance, it is because he has resisted his life and fled from himself, and the retribution is so much death. So what he's telling us is the same thing Jesus is telling us, only he's taking it a step further. Jesus said, as you sow, so shall you reap. So whenever you reap something, whether good or bad, don't try to resist it, don't try to escape it, don't try to run from it, but stand firm in your belief that God is right there with you, that there's something greater than you are that's willing, capable, able to come to your aid. Let's go back to those words from Psalm 28:7. And we want to get these words into our mind. We want to get these words into our heart. And we want to go deep within our soul and accept them as the truth, because as we accept them as the truth known is truth demonstrated. In other words, truth known appears in our experience as greater things, as wonderful things. So this is Psalm 28:7. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusted in him, and I am helped. I am helped. Not I will be helped, but I am helped. Therefore my heart greatly rejoices, and with my song will I praise him. And with my song will I praise him. In other words, I will give back through praise and thanksgiving to that which gave to me. That which gave to me. We can never escape the reality that all is consciousness. The consciousness that thrives in life is a consciousness of gratitude, and is expressed as thanksgiving. We know this. We believe it. We understand it. Look at those words from Henry Van Dyke. Once again, he was an American author, educator, and clergyman. Henry Van Dyke tells us about gratitude. He says, gratitude is the inward feeling of kindness received. Thankfulness is the natural impulse to express that feeling. Thankfulness is the natural impulse, that impulse within us, within you and me and everyone, to express that feeling. Thanksgiving is the following of that impulse. In other words, we must thanksgiving. We must give thanks. We must give to that which gives to us in some way, shape, or form, whatever it may be. And just as the psalmist said, therefore my heart greatly rejoices, and with my song I will praise him. We know that sometimes a song of praise may be all we have to give at any given time, but it is a giving and it is a necessity to seal the bond of trust between ourselves and our Creator. We can believe this. It's the truth for everyone. Let's always remember and never forget those words of the mastermind Jesus, because he's telling us something. It's like flashing a caution light at us, especially in today's modern world, when all kinds of people think they don't have, or they think that somebody is withholding from them. Nobody withholds anything from us but ourselves. Nobody gives to us but ourselves. And nobody takes away from us but ourselves. That's the reality, and that's what Jesus is telling us right here. Excuse me. He says, for to everyone who has, more shall be given, and he shall have an abundance. But from the one who does not have, even what he does have shall be taken away. That's a caution light saying, wake up, be aware, be aware. You may not be conscious of this truth, but whether you're conscious or unconscious of it, this is the truth that works within your life experience, my life experience, and everyone's life experience. Because we can never escape the reality that all is consciousness. The consciousness that thrives in life is a consciousness of gratitude and is expressed as thanksgiving. Grateful to give for we have received. In other words, 2 times 2 = 4, and we shall reap the good results always of our givingness. Always of our givingness. That we must take these words into our mind. We must gradually let ourselves grow into that condition of always naturally responding to all that we receive with gratitude and praise. To be grateful for this gift of life, and forever stop thinking that life is a test. You know, the only people that think life is a test are religious nuts and politicians. Life is not a test. Life is a gift. Do you think you passed the test before you came into this life? Life is not a test. It is a gift. Feel gifted. Feel gifted and you'll feel joy. Feel gifted and you'll experience happiness. Feel gifted and you will sing a song of praise and gratitude to your Creator, to God, to Infinite Spirit, to the Almighty that you've never sang before, that you've never felt before. Even if that song never leaves your lips, you will feel the joy of it, the energy of it, the impulse of it within your heart, your mind, and your soul today and every day. So allow yourself to believe and allow yourself to receive and allow yourself to feel gratitude. And with that gratitude, give thanks and give. The thanksgivingness of life brings forth into our experience those greater things still that Jesus said are ours to have, ours to do, and ours to be. And that's the truth for you and the truth for me. Let's go back to Dr. Dominic A. Polifrone. Dr. Polifrone, Polifrone, Dr. Dominic Polifrone. He was my teacher at the Hollywood Church on Sunset Boulevard. He was my teacher for many years. He's still my teacher and my mentor, although he's in New Jersey and I'm in Palm Springs. So let's look at these words and let's take them into our heart. Follow me with this affirmation. I rejoice in the awareness of gratitude. Remember this as we go through this affirmation. Say it out loud when we come to it. I rejoice in the awareness of gratitude. Say it out loud if you can. I don't want anybody to have a car accident or to injure themselves in something mechanical that they're operating. But if you can, say it out loud. Remember it as we go through this affirmation. I rejoice in the awareness of gratitude. Say that to yourself one more time to get ready. I rejoice in the awareness of gratitude. So let's know, I rejoice in the awareness of gratitude. Each day is brand new, and I am so thankful for the gifts that it brings. The power of zeal directs me to my good. Each experience is an opportunity to expand my spiritual knowing and to live more abundantly. I draw on this spiritual resource that we call God for whatever time, energy, and clarity I need. I rejoice in the awareness of gratitude. Once again, say it out loud. I rejoice in the awareness of gratitude. Centered in God, I make steady progress and overcome challenges with peace and joy. My heart is comfortable and secure. I am a spiritual pilgrim traveling ever upward. This new order in my life is revealed in moments of inspiration and feelings of compassion. I encourage myself with these positive affirmations. I rejoice in the awareness of gratitude. In the season of Thanksgiving, I wish that everyone would embrace this new order of thinking openly and with gratitude. My voice sings out affirming my dreams, knowing new possibilities soon become new probabilities. In the words of the Thanksgiving hymn, I sing, "Come ye thankful people, come, raise the song of harvest home. All is safely gathered in ere the winter storms begin. God our Maker doth provide for our wants to be supplied. Come to God's own temple, come, raise the song of harvest home." I meet this new order with optimism. I am grateful, deeply grateful for all the demonstrations, all the wonderful things showing up in my life right now. I rejoice in the awareness of gratitude, and so it is. Amen.